Brentford 4, Manchester United 3, and very pointless game in the grand scheme of things, because we are all obviously going for the Europa League. But in terms of the Premier League campaign, it's been really bad, and this just sums it up even further. So let's just talk about a little bit about the starting lineup. So Bayindir started in net, of course. You had Fredrickson, De Ligt, Shaw making up the back three, Dogu, Ugarte, Mainu, and Amas making up the four in midfield. Mount and Garnacho in the inside 10 position with Chido Obi Martin up front. So in terms of the changes from my lineup, Bayindir, Shaw, Dogu, Ugarte, Mount and Garnacho started ahead of Onana, Lindelof, Ahmad, Eriksson, Kone and Bruno. So in terms of the first half, Manchester United started poorly. I think the first 10 minutes were poor. So Lewis Potter has a chance in the third minute. He plays an exquisite ball towards Sharda. However, Shaw intercepts and he almost sees his header travel into his own net, and Shaw almost scores an own goal. And then he actually does score an own goal as well later on in the game. Brentford do get another chance in the fourth minute. This time it's Yarmouk. He finds some space outside the United penalty area before whipping a ball towards the path of Sharda. However, the German blazes over Bayindir's crossbar, and Brentford could have been 2-0 up in the first 5-6 minutes, and that just goes to show the type of afternoon that we were going to have. We started really poorly in my opinion, but Man United do make it 1-0 through Mason Mount. The Brentford keeper makes a poor clearance, and Mainu plays the ball to Garnacho on the left flank, who drives forward before delivering a low cross towards Mount in the middle of the penalty area, and the former Chelsea midfielder finishes first time past the hapless Flecken with his right foot. And unfortunately, in the 27th minute, Luke Shaw makes it 1-1 through an own goal. Coyote throws the ball into the United penalty area from the right side, but the ball is headed away by the United defence. However, the Italian runs into the box and beats Amas to the header, with the ball kindly falling to Damsgaard. The Denmark international shoots towards the goal and sees Shaw get a heavy nick off the ball before flying past Bayindir to make it 1-1. And then Sharda, a couple minutes later, in the 33rd minute, makes it 2-1. Coyote plays the ball to Norgard on the right flank before the Denmark international lifts a lovely ball towards the onrushing Sharda, who heads past Bayindir into the far post to make it 2-1. Unfortunately, in the build up to that goal, De Ligt did get injured, so the Dutch international De Ligt injured himself in the lead up to Brentford's goal by colliding with Wisser, so he was brought off for Harry Maguire. Man United making an early sub in the 35th minute, and then Bayindir has to make another save. This time it's Lewis Potter. He plays a delightful long ball towards Sharda on the right flank. The German international heads into the penalty area before firing a first effort with his right foot, but Bayindir parries, and then Ugarte picks up a yellow card for a cynical foul, and then they get a resulting free kick. From the free kick, Damsgaard delivers a cross into the right hand side, which is headed towards goal by Norgard, but Bayindir saves with his chest. And I don't really think the Turkish international knew anything about that save, but he stops it from making it 3-1. Then United do get a chance at the end of the first half. Mount makes a driving run towards the Brentford goal on the right flank before firing a low cross towards the penalty area, but Garnacho is unable to convert. So in terms of half time, I think Brentford had an XG of 1.08, whereas United lacked cutting edge in the final third, and they highlighted through an XG of 0.47. So overall, a poor half for United, not really creating too many clear-cut chances in my opinion. And let's just put the starting lineup up for you now. That's the starting lineup. So in terms of the second half though, United did make some substitutions. Shaw and Dogu did go for Euro and Ahmad, and then Mount has a chance in the 50th minute. Garnacho makes a darting run on the left flank before delivering a teasing cross into the penalty area. Mount connects with the cross but sees his effort blocked by Collins. The former Chelsea midfielder has another chance but sees his tame shot safely collected by Flecken. Then that was basically it for Mason Mount. He didn't really have too much of an impact. Obviously he did get away with the goal, probably could have scored another one, but he does go off for Eriksson in the 57th minute. And then the United do get another chance in the 59th minute. Red Devils break forward with Garnacho on the left side before he tees up Obi in the middle. of the Brentford penalty area. The former Arsenal youth forward sees the shot blocked by the Brentford Brentford defence. Amas then has a shot. Ericsson delivers a cross towards the far post, which flies over the head of Coyote and into the path of Amas, but the youngster sees his effort flash over Flecken's bar. I think Amas maybe needs to be doing a little bit better with that shot there. And then, unfortunately, to add insult to injury, Brentford do make it 3-1. Damsgaard plays a nice pass to Mbeumo on the right side of the United penalty area before the Cameroon international stands up Amas before delivering a cross into the path of Sharda, who heads home to make it 3-1. And then to make matters worse, Wissa makes it 4-1, and Jensen finds acres of space just outside the United penalty area before finding a cute pass to Coyote on the right flank. The Italian is through on goal, but decides to tee up Wissa, who finishes into an empty net to make it 4-1. And honestly, defensively, the goals that we conceded were really poor. All of the goals we conceded were poor, but it just goes to show how bad our Premier League campaign has been this season. It's been really, really bad. United do make a substitution. Fredrickson does go off for Lindelof, and then to my surprise and to add some happiness for United, Garnacho makes it 4-2. Garnacho plays 1-2 football with Ericsson just outside the penalty area on the left hand side of the pitch before rifling a superb effort with his right foot towards Flecken's corner, and really nice strike by Garnacho to make it 4-2. And then in the 5th minute of injury time, at the end of the second half, Ahmad makes it 4-3. Diallo, he finds some space on the right hand side before driving into the Brentford penalty area and firing a left-footed shot which goes through the legs of Flecken to make it 4-3. So a really entertaining game for the neutral, it has to be said. I think both sides did have a couple of chances, but I think Brentford do deserve the win here. In terms of the player ratings, we'll get into them now. Overall, obviously defensively we were poor, but we'll get into some player ratings right now. So Bayende's got a 6.8. He made 3 saves, he conceded 4 goals. I don't think much can be done about the goals he conceded. They weren't really too much his fault. He's coming in for Onana. And then Tyler Fredrickson, I thought he had a tidy game as well. Obviously he's got 7 clearances, 4 headed clearances, 8 defensive actions, 6 recoveries. Jules, he's won 3 out of 6. He's got a 5.6. Maybe he could be doing a little bit better, but because of the goals we conceded defensively, we were poor. I think he did get beaten by that cross. I think the second goal that Brentford scored, the Sharda goal, he could have been doing a little bit better, but in the build up to that goal, De Ligt did get injured. So De Ligt, he only lasted 35 minutes and he had to go off with an injury. One of his Jules as well. And then Luke Shaw, he scored an own goal, so I think he could have been doing a little bit better with the own goal that he scored. It was probably like a miscommunication between De Ligt and Shaw, in my opinion. I think they need to be doing better with the own goal. Jules won, he's won 1 out of 3. And then Dogu, 45 minutes he lasted, probably, coming off because he's going to be playing a part in the Europa League. 12 out of 16 accurate passes. And then Jules, he's won 2 out of 5 as well. Which is alright. Ugarte he made himself lively. I think he got around the pitch a little bit. He completed the most passes with 50 as well. Most tackles with 3 as well. 94% accurate passes, 50 out of 53. And then successful dribbles 1, and then accurate long balls 3 out of 3 as well. And then tackles, he's won 3 out of 4, and then Jules, he's won 7 out of 14. So he definitely got about himself in the pitch. Maybe he needs to be doing a little bit better with his Jules. I'm surprised he lasted 90 minutes because I'm expecting him to be playing in the Europa League against Athletic Club at Old Trafford. So yeah, Kobe Mainoo lasted 90 minutes, 35 out of 38, 92% accurate passes, 4 out of 11 Jules won. I think he needs to be doing better with his Jules. He needs to be winning the majority of his Jules. So he was a little bit quiet, in my opinion. And then Amas, 90 minutes again. 38 out of 45 accurate passes, 84%. Jules, he's won 4 out of 12, which needs to be doing better, in my opinion. Mason Mount, he's got an 8.0 here. He did have a couple shots. He had this one that was this one which was blocked, and then this one which was saved as well. But he obviously scored the opening goal. And when United scored, I didn't get my hopes up too high, because I predicted that United to lose this game, because I do think Brentford are a better side than us. But Mason Mount 8.0, Jules 1, 3 out of 5, which is alright. And then Garnacho, he's got 8.6 here as well. He comes away with 1 goal and 1 assist, which is okay. But I'm surprised he lasted 90 minutes as well, because I'm expecting him to be starting against Athletic Club in the Europa League. So accurate passes 31 out of 39, and then Jules is 2 out of 7 as well. And then finally Chido Obi Martin. He had 2 shots, a quiet game by his standards. I mean, he's only 17, but 2 shots there, 90% accurate passes. And then Jules is 2 out of 9. I think he needs to be doing better with his Jules. But yeah, overall that's the starting 11. In terms of the substitutes, Harry Maguire did come on for De Ligt, lasted 55 minutes, and he's 2 out of 4. Largely quiet, not really much to say. Lenny Euro came on as well. 2 out of 4, Jules 1, 89% accurate passes. And then Amad Diallo, he comes on and gets a goal for himself as well. Really nice to see Amad back, getting some minutes. I wanted him to start this match, but unfortunately he didn't. Jules 1, he's 5 out of 8, which is okay. Pretty decent for his Jules. And maybe I think that right wing back position is really good for him. And then I think we do need entirely new front three in the summer, but we'll see how that goes. Ericsson didn't win any of his duels, unfortunately. 0 out of 2, Jules 1. Accurate passes 19 out of 26. Needs to be doing a little bit better in my opinion with regards to his accurate passes. And then Lindelof lasted 14, 9 out of 11. Accurate passes 82%. And then yeah, that's it. In terms of overall, of course, disappointed with the result, because our league campaign's been really disappointing. But I think the goals that we gave up defensively, we weren't good enough. Defensively we just weren't tight enough to be closing Brentford down, and we were giving him too much space. The goals that we conceded were poor, all of them defensively. We weren't good enough defensively. There were individual errors leading to the goals, and but it has to be said, I am impressed by Brentford. Impressed by Brian Mbeumo as well. Wouldn't mind him staying at Old Trafford next season. I think he's a decent player. Sharda as well is pretty good as well. Probably better than our kind of our front three that we have. Kevin Sharda is a decent player, and Mbeumo as well is a decent player as well. Wisser as well, I don't know how many Premier League goals he's on, but he had an okay game as well. But yeah, overall in terms of United, not a good performance but it has to be said, expectedly, we are kind of really poor in the Premier League. That's 6 games without a win in the Premier League, and we've not won 2 games in a row in the Premier League, which is really bad. Next up, we do have West Ham in the Premier League at home, but before that, we are playing Athletic Club in the Europa League semi-final, second leg. So hopefully we can get the job done against Bilbao, and it's all eyes on the Europa League. And yeah, disappointed with the result, but it is what it is. Our league campaign's been abysmal. But anyway, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.